So then I was just like, let me just leave it out there. So that was that. Maybe at the time.
Fade out.
Good morning. And welcome to the Unitarian Society of New Haven, USNH. My name is Gwen Hughes Severance. My pronouns are she and her, and I will be your worship associate this morning. Welcome to all of you who are here in our sanctuary, in our social hall and kitchen, and in our classroom and offices, and all who have joined us online. If you are visiting us for the first time, or you have questions about Unitarian Universalism and our congregation, please come join us at the welcome table in the social hall coffee hour right after the service. Our worship theme for today is our biannual Music Sunday. The theme is Concord. Special thanks to our choir, our musical directors, Christopher and William, and trombonist Ryan. Before we begin our worship service, I have a few announcements. Today will be the final performance of Little Women at 2 o'clock. On Thursday, November 20th, at 6 p.m., please join us here at USNH in our recognition of the Transgender Day of Remembrance. Jonathan Dean and Jesse Greist will lead a blessing, ritual of remembrance, and a candlelight vigil. Showing up for the trans and non-binary community of USNH and beyond is more necessary than ever now, and we hope to see you there. Next Saturday evening, November 22nd at 7 p.m., another octave, the Connecticut Women's Chorus, will present its fall concert. And our last announcement, or mine, is that next Sunday, November 23rd, we have a congregational meeting right after the service here in the sanctuary. And now let us come into this moment, putting away our distractions and worries, to be centered, renewed, and challenged. Let us put our phones in meditation mode as we come into this place, a sanctuary that is strengthened by our diversity, compassion, and commitment to justice for all. Let us bring all that we are at this moment to this place, this beloved community, knowing that our whole selves are welcome here.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Stephen Kendrick. My pronouns are he and him. Welcome to all of you on a special Music Sunday. I have one or two very quick announcements I want to add to Gwen's. One is that I'm delighted to say that this Wednesday night at 6:30, our authors series continues with the author James Marcus, his biography of Ralph Waldo Emerson, Glad to the Brink of Fear, this Wednesday at 6:30. I'll be picking up James and bringing him here to the sanctuary. He's very excited to come to New Haven and to present his book. We have books available for signing and time for questions. This is the best thing written on Emerson in the last 50 years. It's a remarkable book. And 5 or 6 people have come to me in my men's group and other people in the congregation to say that they had noticed James Marcus's remarkable essay, the lead article in the New Yorker last week, about his relationship of his trans son as she transitions. And it was a lovely, lovely article. So he's got wide range and great sympathy for the human condition. So I do warmly invite you to come and join us here in the sanctuary this weekend for James Marcus. And now I have a very happy announcement to make that will be a huge and fantastic surprise to Jamie. Jamie, you're in the back there. I see you. Jamie is celebrating, she doesn't know it, but she is, her 10th year with us. And and of course, we will praise her next week at the annual meeting, and you all may bring your own personal, heartfelt thank yous for everything you do for us, and it's considerable, and it's ongoing, and it's remarkable. Your love and devotion to this congregation is really something. And please always remember that the word administer contains the word minister, and she does do that to all of us. And therefore, we're going to celebrate in the best possible way that this particular congregation can possibly do, which is a sheet cake. So we have a cake for you prepared in the, so following the service, we're going to have cake. Our tradition here at the Unitarian Society is when we sing our opening hymn. Well, you know what? We're going to light this chalice first. There we go. Sorry about that. From Psalm 98. Oh, sing a new song. Shout praise, all earth. Break into music and song. Praise the Eternal with the harp and song. Let the sea and all within it thunder praise. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let mountains sing in chorus. Oh, sing a new song to the Eternal. And as we light our chalice this morning, I will be inviting all of you that have a sorrow in your heart to come forward and place a stone or a shell into the water, or if you have a joy to share with all of us in this remarkable sanctuary, please light a votive candle. Our opening hymn, 346. Come, sing a song with me. Please rise as you are willing and able. 346.
Well, good morning once again. My name is Jesse Greist, and I am the coordinator of congregational life. My pronouns are he and him. We just sang about a song of hope, rose in the wintertime. Hope many times can be a slippery thing. If you find yourself in a situation where it seems like the whole world is stacked against you, it can be hard to find that hope. At the same time, sometimes hope can be as simple as having options. One such option has come to the city, to a small city in Honduras called San Pedro Perupalang. That hope came in the form of a young man named Pablo Mendez Granadino. He was born and raised in Los Angeles and became a musician there, working with a group called the Harmony Project. But he was called in 2015 to go to a land that he had never known personally. He went to El Salvador, and he started a group there that's called Armonía Cuscatleca. Cuscatlan is the indigenous word for El Salvador. And what he decided to do there was, knowing that many of the young people in the town that he went to grew up facing two basic life options. One was finding a way to live in or through or around gang violence. And the other option seemed to be migration. Two very, very weighted, heavy, unfair options. When Pablo went down to El Salvador, he wanted to start this group to give a third option, and that third option was music. He found funding from a US-based organization called Musicians Without Borders. And since 2017, Musicians Without Borders has found funds for instruments, for amplification and recording equipment. And Armonía Cuscatleca has flourished ever since as a third option, an option of hope, an option of love, an option that brought people together around something other than violence or displacement. And so I invite you for a moment to just, if you're willing, in this space right here, close your eyes and see if we can call the music of Armonía Cuscatleca into this space. If you listen very hard, you might be able to hear them playing. Children as young as 5, many of them 8, 10 years old, up to 18 years old, coming together to play on both traditional instruments and modern orchestral instruments. Playing in hope of peace, playing in hope of something better. May it be so for all. Would the children in this room please follow me off to their classes this morning, and let us sing them out together with words that are written in your order of service. We give thanks.
Wow. Thank you, Christopher and William and choir. Great. What a gift. Covenant lies at the center of how Unitarian Universalists gather in community. We are united not by a particular set of beliefs, but by the promises we make about how we will be together, how we will treat each other, and how we will seek to mend relationships when we fall short of our aspirations. Each week, we recite together a brief version of our covenant. I encourage you to read the full covenant at our website. While the following words express our intentions and writings, our true covenant lives and breathes in our actions. Please join me now in reciting the words that appear in your order of service or in the chat on the live stream. We covenant together to create and nurture a culture of respect and kindness, and to engage in the spiritual and everyday practice of loving more generously. To this end, we will strive to be open, value differences, listen deeply, use kind language, speak our truths, work with conflict, seek humor and joy.
His meditations are interrupted only by the faint sound of the Concord bell, a melody, as it were, imported into the wilderness. At a distance over the woods, the sound acquires a certain vibratory hum, as if the pine needles in the horizon were the strings of a harp which is swept, a vibration of the universal lyre, just as the intervening atmosphere makes a distant ridge of earth, interesting to the eyes by the azure tint it imparts.
Every week, we lift up the spiritual value of generosity by taking an offering for the ministries of this congregation. While the music plays, ushers will pass the offering plates. Please be generous in your support by making a donation here or online at usnh.org or by mail to the Unitarian Society of New Haven, 700 Hartford Turnpike, Hamden, Connecticut. In whichever way you choose to give, your offering is received with gratitude.
Well, I thought I knew Charles Oz, but I've never heard Charlie before. And when I first heard about it, I thought it was going to be Charlie on the MTA. This was so much better, so much better. It was absolutely brilliant. Thank you, William and Ryan. We're going to sing enthusiastically and with all the joy and sorrow in our hearts. Number 208, Every Time I Feel the Spirit and Really Feel It. 208, please rise as you were willing and able. You may be seated. Your hearts are just palpitating, I know. Well, being a Unitarian Universalist minister is a pretty good gig, and I've had a wonderful and happy life and career, but I've had this secret longing to be Thomas Wentworth Higginson. Now, you may say, never heard of him. Actually, I asked at the worship committee, and Gwen said, I've heard of him. So I'm going to tell you why I would have loved to have been Thomas Wentworth Higginson. So he enters the Unitarian ministry just about the time of Emerson, and he had three amazing experiences that I would have loved. The first I wanted to talk about is America is America, and our history has been roiled and conflicted and tragic, as well as noble and wonderful. So as a young minister, Thomas Wentworth Higginson fought back against the federal government actually capturing free, former enslaved citizens and free citizens on the streets of Boston and all the major cities of the North to ship them back south to be enslaved. And Thomas Wentworth Higginson stormed the federal courthouse in Boston to try to free Anthony Burns. They failed. Anthony Burns was sent down south and was never heard of again in American history, lost. But he tried. And then later in his career, he began receiving letters from a reclusive and shy young woman, poems that he could hardly scan. They were odd, they were misshaped, they were completely unlike anything that Higginson had ever read or encountered before, but he encouraged her. He actually met this reclusive person twice, very briefly, for less than a half an hour. But he hung in there, and after her early death, he made sure that her poems were published. And that's why we have Emily Dickinson as one of the three greatest poets in American history, because of her wonderful relationship with Higginson. Higginson had the imagination to think outside the box and to change our literature. But he was a writer himself. And he wrote a book called Army Life in a Black Regiment, because he was one of the first to be appointed a colonel to the 1st South Carolina Volunteers. It was the first federally authorized black regiment in the Civil War. And the Congress insisted that all colonels be white over their black troops. But Higginson was different. He was very different. He said, "We come not to teach lessons, but to receive them." And he loved his troops, and he respected them. And he said, "I heard in them both courage and a tie to heaven." And in the Atlantic magazine, he was probably the first person in America to transcribe and to praise and to point out the great heritage of the work songs and the tragic songs and the songs of love and the songs of enthusiasm, one of which we just sang, "Every Time I Feel the Spirit." He heard the spirituals, and he heard them with his heart. When he heard his men sing "Jordan River, I'm bound to go, bound to go, bound to go," he said, "I heard nothing but patience for this life and nothing but triumph in the next." He wrote in his article in the Atlantic and later in his book, Army Life, he heard a line sung in the darkness one evening: "I'll lie in my grave and stretch out my arms." He wrote, "Never, it seems to me, since humanity first lived and suffered, such an infinite longing for peace sung more plaintively than that line. Frederick Douglass had said, these are songs that breathe a prayer and a complaint of bitter anguish all at the same time. And they do. That's part of the great American heritage. And the world took a long time to catch up with what Higginson heard. But with the Fisk Jubilee singers and Paul Robeson, singers like Mahalia Jackson at the Lincoln Memorial before the World War II, the world began to hear what W.E.B. Du Bois called sorrow songs. That is the great spiritual heritage of the spirituals. And whenever we sing, we are climbing Jacob's ladder, this little light of mine, these are all things that are in our hymnal. Down by the riverside, wade in the water, go tell it on the mountain. You are singing these songs, these sorrow songs, but they lift and they comfort and they inspire. And when you get to songs like also in our hymnal, sometimes I feel like a motherless child. You feel like your heart's being torn out. And suddenly it all seems real. And when you get to a song like Deep River, that is about as American as America can get in our potential and our possibility and in our longing to be better. This is America's truest music, I believe. And we have to be so careful, so delicate in how we handle these songs, because they do point to a universal human longing, and yet they also point to America's peculiar institution. So these are songs to be sung with gratitude, not grasped at or freely taken over. They are songs to be handled as a great gift. And these sorrow songs, they say something about human nature, and it goes all the way back into the Psalms, written almost 3,000 years ago. By the waters of Babylon, we lay down and wept for thee, Zion. We remember thee, Zion. The gift of sorrow tells us just how music has always been our truest companion on the journey from sorrow into solidarity, from separation and suffering into peace and concord. Music brings us together. Music connects. Music unifies. Music tells us we share in the end one soul. Every time I feel the Spirit. Benjamin Britten's Concord.
forget my other responsibilities. If you would join us in singing number 304 in the gray hymnal, A Fierce Unrest. Stand if you are willing or able, in spirit or in body.
You may be seated. As Gwen comes forward, in your order of service are words as we pass on the flame. And please join me. Carry forth this chalice flame, its illumination into our daily lives, its sustaining warmth into our relationships, the light of reason shining beyond these walls. May we carry the fire of hope in our hearts this day and in the week to come.
No fire is here of that within the me.
Your applause, please. When we talked about playing this service, you said we wanted to find pieces that bring people together, that comfort them, that bring Concord. And you really wanted to make sure that this service was called Concord. That sense of peace, I think we all felt it and we all were drawn in by it. I don't know how much we planned this. There's no saying God takes care of fools and Unitarians, but with James Marcus's talk on Emerson and the fantastic productions of Little Women over the last 2 weeks, which continues today, we have visited Concord as well as with the music of Charles Ives. And so we have been drawn into that sense of peace. Please, before you join us to have sheet cake in honor of Jamie, this is our benediction for today. Now, may peace, which passes all understanding, keep your hearts and minds in the knowledge of love, and may this peace be yours in the week to come. Amen, and go in peace. Thanks once again.